How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to do some crawfish trapping. It's late September. It's usually a pretty good time of year to catch them. We try to get quite a few at a time if we can because they're kind of tedious to clean, and it's a lot to drive down to the lake just to catch some little critters. But if we can get a lot of them and make really good sandwiches, really good soups, stuff like that. We got our traps here in the boat. Got 8 of them with us today. Have our bait bombs in the cooler ready to go. We'll load those up at the lake. I'll show that on video. And we'll set them up and mark the location and go back and get them tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. Alright, gonna go over the bait process real quick. We've got these homemade containers that Dad made. Got a threaded lid, body, some holes drilled on. You put saran wrap around them so they don't leak in the meantime. Freeze them. These have a fish mash concoction in them. It tends to work pretty well for us, so that's what we're going with. One of those in each one. So you got them all frozen the night before. We're going to go set them out tomorrow. Alrighty, at the lake, all loaded up. Beautiful evening. A little choppy. Hopefully not too bad. Gonna head out there somewhere, probably over there maybe. Try to find some rocky stuff and set them up. Alright, so we've got a nice rocky shoreline here. It's got lots of cover for the crawfish. Gonna idle up in there and we'll put a few on this shoreline, then we'll probably move on down the way and put some further down there. We've had luck putting the traps pretty close together before, but I like to spread them out a little bit at least. But we'll get them baited and get them deployed in here. Okay, so we've got our trap here. We've got our little bait pods. This one's already unwrapped, but they're wrapped with saran wrap. Throw them in there, flip her closed. This one's got bungee cords. These rectangle ones don't seem to work as well, but we'll give it a fair shot. They're kind of nice. They're set up so they don't leak all over the place. Saran wrap, good to go. All right, stand by for deployment.
Got to make sure it's sitting upright.
Yeah, these rectangular ones like to lay on their side and they don't work. The round ones definitely seem to work better. All right, Dad's gonna swing the bow in and tie off to a tree. All right, we'll just tie her off low to the water. Hopefully she doesn't get thieved. You're probably in a tree right now. So that's what I got. Okay. And there's one. We'll be back for it. On to the next one. Number 2.
Maybe you got a big rock down to your right, D.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it.
We're gonna...
Okay. Good. This is Merganser rock, aptly named. These you can kind of just chuck in. Pretty nice. Doesn't really matter how they land.
Go deep enough?
I think so. There's a bunch of chunky stuff there. All right, you can probably back up, or we'll
whoops.
Impale ourselves. That's all right. Okay. Should be deep enough there. I don't know if depth really matters as much. We seem to do fine right up next to the bank and a little further out, but I'd like to have it not right up on the bank. Dad really likes crunching up the vegetation today. It's a little choppy though. Get that. Not too worried about tying it on there. It's not going anywhere. Just enough that it doesn't fall off there. All right, that one's done. A bunch of chunky rock up in here. I'm gonna tie off to this moon rock looking thing right here. Oh, almost didn't make contact. Not like the trolling motor's fragile or anything.
There's the motor.
Okay. Okay. That looks good. Can we not hit a rock one time? Look at that. No contact. Yet. It's still early. Not really anything great to tie to on this guy. We're going to stuff that up in there. I don't think that's approved not tying, but I don't think it's going anywhere either. So for crawfish in Wyoming, there's really no limit, no season, nothing like that. But obviously this is easier to do when the lake is liquid. So we're doing it right now. But there's not a whole lot of regulations. This crawfish species is not native to Wyoming. So they're not too worried about people overfishing it or anything. But they are very good to eat. They're as big as the ones from the southeast, Louisiana, that area. They're very large and they're very tasty. So it's nice to be out here utilizing a resource that's pretty easy to get a hold of, as you'll hopefully see tomorrow morning. Kind of got to make a special trip out here. We brought some fishing rods. We'll probably do some walleye fishing afterwards. But otherwise, not a whole lot of effort to catch some pretty tasty non-native critters. It's kind of fun to do this time of year. All right, this is something we've never really tried. We have a mobile unit here. We're going to try out in some deeper water and see how it does. We have not trash on here. I don't know if you can read that. I'm afraid somebody will swoop by and pick it up. I don't think they will, because I don't think anybody picks up their trash out here sometimes, but we're going to deploy her out here.
16.5.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm glad your cell phone didn't fall in the water.
Yeah, I know. That's a real threat. All right, she's on the bottom. Deployed. All right, that's all 8 of them. We'll be back in the morning, see what we've done. Beautiful evening to be out here trapping. Like to take the opportunity to pick up trash. Oh, not tethered to anything. That is a vintage bobber right there.
It's probably been floating around for years.
Probably has. No longer littering up the lake.
No barnacles?
No. No barnacles. Good morning, everybody. Up bright and early. Trap's been soaking overnight. We're going to head out and get them. Absolutely beautiful morning. Not too windy. Not too cold. Not too warm. All right, pulling the first one. Not a huge haul, but there's a few in there. And they're big. All right, on to the next one. This one does not look like it has very many. There's a few. Yeah, these square ones do not do as well. There's only 3 in there. I saw a couple on top of it when we pulled up, but yeah, I have much more faith in the round ones. We'll see if that holds true in a minute. All right, here's number 3. I think this is the first round one. That one's looking better. Yes, the round ones seem to do much better. That's nice. Good pile of them in there. All right, cooler's starting to crawl. Okay. This should be another round one. That one's got quite a few as well. Yeah, a lot of them in there. her closer. Got her. Am I not held? Yeah, that's a good haul. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, that's what we're after. Right there. There's probably 25 of them in that one. They're all giant, as you can see. I'll hold one up in a second.
One thing about these things, they come pretty clean. They don't smell afterward.
Yeah, they do. Big fella. This one looks pretty good. We cruised over it. Yeah. Another good looking haul. Oh yeah. There's 20 of them in there. Good mess in there. It's still here, which is a good sign. Like I said, these rectangular traps don't seem to work as well. That one did just fine. See, if that would have been a round trap, I bet it would have done better. But still, I mean, for these rectangular traps, there's probably some merit to the deep water set. Yeah, we don't know what it is with these square boys. It almost seems like they get out of the trap, but the hole is not that big. But I don't know, they definitely consistently catch less. So there's something to it. Let's see if we can end with a bang. Yes, indeed. That might be the best one yet. Good pile of them. Awesome. Good way to end it. Where are you going? There you go. All right. Not completely sure of our numbers, but there's easily 100. We'll count them later. We usually try to see how well we do. Quite a good mess of them. They're all pretty good size. All right, now the work begins. That was the fun part. All right, so we've had them purging for quite a while here. Rinsed them out a few times, just let them kind of clear themselves out. You can see from this lake, they're very clean. They don't have any mud on them or anything. They come out of there really clean, but still like to let them purge a little bit, let them kind of sit in the water and clear themselves out for at least a few hours. But they don't have mud all over them like a lot of the ones from the south do. Not sure why that is. I guess the lakes are pretty rocky. They don't have a lot of mud, but got quite a few of them in there. All right, what we're doing here is moving them from hot water that they were almost boiling in to ice water to stop the cooking process. You'll see they're all like nice and red color. They're all fully cooked. So we'll put them in here, stop the cooking process because we don't want to overdo it. And then we'll start to pick them. And once they're picked, we can do just about anything with them. We can make a po' boy, which is what we're probably going to do. We might also make a bisque. We've done soups like that before, chowder. They're really good in that. Anything you can use lobster for, they work great for. They're just like,
suck the heads.
Or you can suck the heads if you're into that type of thing. But we pretty much use them for any lobster application, and they're great for it. All right, we're back in the kitchen. Got them all cleaned up. Got all their tails right here. We've got a bunch of carcasses over here to make some stock with. Use that as a base for some soup. Yeah, that's 152 of them. That's what we ended up with. So not a huge pile of meat, but it's well worth the effort. Took us probably half an hour to pick those. Maybe not even that. It goes pretty quick with 2 people working at it. Alrighty, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed.